Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And I have the time of the speech as 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. Please welcome Bill Singer.
2013, my wife and I purchased one-way tickets to Cairo, Egypt. We had 4 nights reservations in Cairo, and our only plan after that was to circumnavigate the globe, travel around the world, spending 14 months, and our general plan was to follow the weather, traveling east to west, going around the entire Earth. We got to Egypt, Cairo. It was super crowded, and we saw the enormous pyramids, the amazing and mysterious Sphinx, among some other sites of antiquities. After we left Cairo, we took the overnight train to Luxor, which basically follows the Nile River south. And in Luxor, we saw the amazing Temple of Karnak and the Valley of the Kings, where the amazing King Tut is buried. We continued south from Luxor to Aswan, Egypt. And in Aswan, we took a ride on a felucca, which is the traditional sailing boats you find on the Nile River. And we also took a trip to Abu Simbel, which is near the Sudanese border. And the amazing sight at Abu Simbel was the 100-foot statues of Ramses II, built and carved into an enormous rock face. Well, that part of our trip, where we would look at the antiquities of Egypt, was winding down. Our plan was to cross the Red Sea and to head up the Sinai Peninsula on the west side of the Gulf of Aqaba, where we would go to Dahab, which is known as the Bohemian city of Egypt, do some scuba diving, and continue north. Stay on a beach in Nuweiba, just relax, maybe do some snorkeling in the Red Sea, and then continue from there, traveling to cross the border by foot into Israel. But first, we had to cross the Red Sea. Well, without a definitive plan, we were making things up as we went along. So we took a bus from Luxor, Egypt, to Hurghada, which is a town that's on the south bank of the Red Sea, directly across from the Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Aqaba, and they meet at the bottom of the Sinai Peninsula, which forms almost a perfect triangle. And the town there is called Sharm el-Sheikh. So we looked up online how we would get from Hurghada across the Red Sea. We noticed there's a ferry. Fantastic. We're going to take the ferry across the Red Sea. So we took a 5-hour bus ride to Hurghada. We checked into the Movenpick Hotel in Hurghada, a luxury hotel right on the Red Sea. We checked into the hotel and we said, oh, by the way, how do we get to the ferry to cross the Red Sea? And they said, there is no ferry across the Red Sea. And I said, what? No ferry? But I see it right online here. There's a ferry to cross the Red Sea. I even have the schedule. Well, the Red Sea apparently has no ferry to cross it because it hasn't run there in over a year. Turns out it became superfluous. Well, we needed to figure out how we were going to cross the Red Sea. But we weren't worried. We'd figure it out. Checked into the hotel, thought, okay, we'll go down to the pool and go online and see what other options we have to figure out how we're going to cross the Red Sea. By the pool, we saw a woman dressed in a full burqa go into the pool. I thought that was kind of strange. And then we went to the restaurant. And in the restaurant, there's a Russian family, and the little kids are running around the restaurant like crazy, playing musical chairs with all the chairs in the restaurants. And the kids are turning the lights on and off. It's like, what is going on here? We talked to the maitre d', and he said, yeah, happens about every day. Not much I could do about it. Well, we decided Hurghada was not the place for us. We had to get out of there, cross the Red Sea, and get to Sharm el-Sheikh. So we went online and we're looking at different options. Bus was going to be too long. Well, what about flights? And we saw flights online. Fantastic! There was a flight, a 20-minute flight, leaving the next day. Let's get tickets! And we're trying online. We can't get tickets. There's no way to make the purchase online. What are we going to do? Well, turns out there's an Air Egypt office right in Hurghada. It was open till 5 o'clock that evening. And we looked at our watches, it's 4:30. We got to get out of here. We went outside, we grabbed a cab, went to the office of Air Egypt, purchased our tickets for the next day, went back to the hotel, spent the night in the hotel. We got up early and went to the airport. It was first flight of the day, early in the morning, and I stepped into the cockpit of the I stepped into the airplane and just looked into the cockpit to notice the pilot with a long beard all the way down to his chin. Past his chin to his chest. It was a lovely flight. The sun was coming up over the Red Sea and the Gulf of Oman, and we made it to Sharm el-Sheikh. Only 2,152 miles left to go.
Our second speaker today is Harvey Fisher, and his objectives will be read by Rob Kanzer, his evaluator.
Thank you, Jamie. Good afternoon again, everyone. Our speaker, Harvey Fisher,